What's going on, Crimson Tide fans? Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about some new offers that this coaching staff they've been going out on the road here in the last couple of days, visiting different recruits, 2026 class, 2027, even some 2028 guys that we're going to talk about today. I know you guys don't really like talking that too far in the future, but it is only one guy, so stick with us here. But what is the biggest position of need for the Crimson Tide in this 2026 class? No, a lot of people are thinking defensive line. I'm probably in that boat myself, but if you think there's another position out there that you think is a bigger position of need, let me know what it is down in the comments section. Most of you guys are probably going to say defensive line, so we'll start off here on defensive line, and it is definitely a priority for Alabama in this class. First guy, most of these guys are new offers this past week for Alabama. You got Titan Davis. He's a 4-star recruit in this 2026 class out of the state of Missouri. Almost a top 100 guy, sitting at 107 overall. By the way, all these rankings are the 247 Sports composite rankings. He is also the number 14 defensive lineman, number 2 player from the state of Missouri. Kind of a big guy, as you would like on the defensive line, 6'5", 262 pounds. So I do think he kind of fits more in at that bandit spot more so than a, normal defensive tackle would. But he's got some notable offers. He's taken some notable visits. Nebraska, Penn State, Kansas State, Ohio State, Michigan. A lot of teams out there want this guy. 46 tackles this past season for him, 9 sacks, 18 tackles for loss as well. The next guy, I'm just going to call him Tom because you guys know how bad I am with names, and I just do not want to butcher it, so we're just going to stick right here calling him Tom until we actually get a pronunciation for him later on in the future. Currently, right now, he is committed to Oregon, but Alabama definitely is a team that wants to, go after him and get him in this 2026 recruiting class. Top 150 player, number 20 defensive lineman out of Mater Dei High School. So we know that connection to Alabama and Mater Dei. And then Preston Carey, another 4-star defensive lineman in this class. Both Tom and Preston Carey, according to On3, probably more of those true defensive tackle guys. The rest of those guys are probably going to, should expect probably more at that bandit position. 6'3", 300, or excuse me, no, that's Tom. He's 6'4", 300 pounds is Preston Carey out of IMG Academy. We know that, Michael Carroll from IMG Academy as well as, Tyler Booker there in the past. One thing of note, though, as well, he went up against Michael Carroll every single day in practice, called him one of his closest friends. So I do think that is very, very notable. And he did say he wants to visit Alabama as soon as possible. So we'll see how far into the future we can get him on campus. Tyson Bacon, all 2026 recruiting cycle name right there. He is a little bit lower ranked guy, but you see guys like, London Simmons that Alabama got in this previous class. He is another in-state guy out of Hoover High School, 6'3", 260 pounds. He currently is committed to Tennessee right now. And then Camarion Johnson, we talked about him a couple videos ago out of Muscle Shoals, Alabama, 6'5", 250 pounds. Talked about, one of his goals was to get an offer from Alabama and does have an upcoming visit as well. Coming up here on February 1st, he will be in town for Junior Day. So let me know here in the comment section, how many defensive linemen do you think Alabama needs in this 2026 recruiting class? It's the pinned comment of today's video. You guys should know what that means by now. If that ad comes here on YouTube, it's probably going to. You guys can get down there in the comments and let me know what you think. Going over to the offensive line now. Now, I do want to make note, Lucas Roa, he's a 2027 guy, excuse me. And the only recruiting site that has him ranked right now is On3. So we went ahead and put his On3 rankings there just because wanted to have something there on screen instead of not ranked all the way down the board from him. And you also have Bryson Martinez as well. He's a 4-star recruit, top 100 player, 52 overall. Also the number 6 offensive tackle in this class. We'll see, a lot of times they put him as an offensive tackle or interior. Sometimes they get recruited different ways as well. So we'll see later on in his recruitment, I would say, what exactly Alabama is recruiting him to be there. Does have some notable offers as well. LSU, Georgia, Florida, Baylor, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas A&M, all in the fold for him. When it comes to Lucas Roa, he's another guy. Both of these guys are a little bit smaller in terms of their weight. Martinez, 6'5", 290 pounds. Roa is 6'4", 280 pounds. But, we've seen in the past, this is what this Kalen DeBoer offensive style is. They like a little bit smaller, leaner offensive linemen. They can, show their athleticism and everything like that. So just because some of these guys, aren't reaching those 300-pound marks does not mean they're not good athletes. He's also got offers from Alabama, Arizona State, Tennessee, Washington, Penn State. So, 2027 guy, just because he's not ranked on some of those other sites does not mean he is not a very good player and will be a good player in the future there. One thing of note for him as well, his dad went to Penn State. Did not play football at Penn State, but his dad did go to Penn State, so also did want to make note of that. We'll continue with some more players here in just a second, but today's show is presented by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. Super easy to play. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. It's playoff time, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks. It is the best place to win cash while watching football. Prize Picks now offers MasterCard as well for a quick and easy deposit into your account this sports season. Prize Picks also invented the flex play here, You can go with a flex play or you can go with a power play. The flex play, you can get one wrong and still double your money. This is the slate that we're going with for this weekend slate of games. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, both of them more than on their rushing yards. Now also have Joe Mixon of the Houston Texans going more than half touchdown there, whether it's rushing or receiving. Just got to get one touchdown there for Joe Mixon. And like I said, if you go with a flex play, you can get one wrong and still come out on top. So download the app today and use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time for you guys, download the Prize Picks app today. Use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to get the $50 bonus. It is just guaranteed. That link's in the comment section and the description of today's show. It's Prize Picks. Run your game. Going over to some edge rushers here now that Alabama has recently offered. First up, you got Trenton Henderson, 2026 recruit. He is a 4-star, number 75 player overall, also the number 8 edge. Number 13 player from the state of Florida. Actually went to Pensacola Catholic, so not too far actually from where I grew up, actually, so that's pretty cool there. Just personally for me. Pretty big kid, 6'4", 225 pounds is what he is listed at on the recruiting sites there. Has taken multiple visits here, to Auburn, Miami, Vanderbilt, Arkansas State, Mississippi State as well, but definitely a name to monitor there. And then J.J. French, he is a 3-star guy, but like I mentioned, kind of back to London Simmons, just because some of these guys are lower ranked does not really mean anything. He's also the number 1 player out of the state of Indiana, so that's of note as well. They have him listed as a defensive lineman, but it seems like Alabama is recruiting him as an edge rusher, so we'll see. Maybe he plays that bandit role. Maybe he plays that wolf role as well. Once he gets into a college program, they're going to get his body the way it needs to be. He's got notable offers from Alabama, Michigan, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Indiana, obviously their number 1 player in the state, Tennessee, Penn State, Oklahoma. The list goes on and on for him. Has also taken some visits to Notre Dame, Indiana, Louisville, Purdue, Kentucky as well. And he does go to the same high school as LSU signee, also an Alabama target along the defensive line, Damian Shanklin, who visited back in June. So we'll see if any of those connections can, help Alabama. Obviously, Shanklin, he's committed to LSU. So, we'll see if Alabama can get both of those guys to go ahead and commit to the Crimson Tide. And then you also have Marcus Fakatou, I believe how you pronounce his name. He's got the pronunciation in his Twitter bio, and I still probably butchered it there. He's a 2028 guy, but I will say this kid is absolutely huge. 6'7", 260 pounds, and he's in the 2028 recruiting class. So if that tells you anything, this kid's going to grow into his body and be, I think, just an absolute demon for whatever school he ends up going to. Offers from Alabama, Auburn, Arizona, Michigan, Nebraska, Notre Dame. Schools want him. So definitely going to be a name to monitor in the way in the future. Like I said, he is in that 2028 class, so he is not currently ranked right now, but I'm sure he's going to be one of the top-ranked recruits in that recruiting cycle. Make sure you guys are subscribed as well right here to the Alabama Football Report. Since we last gave you an update between us and the Michigan Football Report, we've actually gained 3,000 subscribers in the time that they've only gained about 600 subscribers, and that's all from you guys, so I appreciate that. If you are not subscribed, what are you doing? You've been watching this video now for 11 minutes. You obviously like what we're doing here. Make sure you guys stay up to date in all Alabama football news out there. Hit that sub button for me right now. All right, the last position group we're going to talk about here, or actually the second to last, are the linebackers. You got Sincere Johnson, also an all-name team in this 2026 cycle. He's number 108 overall, number 7 linebacker in this class, number 4 player from the state of Ohio. Now, he does have some ties to the South. He's got some family that live in Auburn, and he will be at Alabama for their junior day on February 1st. We'll do a video probably this weekend on some of the early names that are going to be at Alabama's junior day on February 1st. So, like I said, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Make sure you guys are subscribed right there. It will be also his first trip to Tuscaloosa, so that is very notable there. You got Braden Rouse, 4-star recruit in that 2026 class, number 194 overall. Number 23 player out of the state of Georgia, out of Marietta, Georgia as well. Played both sides of the ball this year, had over 100 tackles at linebacker, also had 378 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns as a wide receiver. Now, he has visited Bama before as well. He was there for the first game of the season this past year for that Western Kentucky game, but has not rescheduled a visit since then. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if Alabama can get him on campus again. He got Nick Abrams as well, 24 linebacker in this class, number 6 player from the state of Maryland. He says he wants to visit Alabama. He received that offer just this past Tuesday, so it's going to probably take him some time to actually get in the fold there, but I do expect that, he would get a visit scheduled here probably sooner rather than later. Going over to the cornerbacks now, Alabama put out one more offer to Aaron Washington. He is a corner in this 2027 class, so currently not ranked right now, but is at a Mater Dei high school. We know that cornerback to Alabama connection out of Mater Dei, so we'll see if that can play a role here for Alabama. Also recorded 4 interceptions this year. And then Elbert Hill, number 1 corner in this recruiting class, number 1 player out of the state of Ohio. He was in Tuscaloosa for Alabama's game against Georgia. He is also a very, very, very notable name that will be in town on February 1st for Junior Day, so make sure you guys keep up to date on that. And then Jordan Edmonds as well, almost a top 100 player, 114 overall, number 16 player from the state of Georgia, also out of Marietta, Georgia. Really like this guy's length. He's 6'3", 160 pounds, so maybe add a little bit more weight on him, would probably be nice for Alabama, but got plenty of time to add a little bit more weight before he ends up going to college, and then once he gets there, I'm sure he's going to add a little bit more as well. Has visited Alabama 3 times, so that's very, very positive, I think, going into this 2026 recruiting cycle. And he did say, as of right now, Alabama is on top in his recruitment, but some other names or some other teams to monitor there. Florida, Georgia, Tennessee also, he said, makes him feel wanted. So if Alabama can stay on top for him, that would be a very, very nice addition to this class. You also have Zion Gibson in this 2026 class who is already committed. But when it comes to Edmonds, he will also be another guy that will be visiting on Junior Day. Make sure you guys give me a follow over on Twitter. Put all of our Alabama Football Report content over there as well. So if you miss it here, you can see it over there on my Twitter page as well. Go ahead and give me a follow. That's at Chris Chat Sports.